Ile-a-la-crosse. This community of approximately 1,200 people, which in 1976 celebrated its bicentennial birthday, covers a low-lying peninsula at the southern end of Lac Ile-a-la-crosse in northwestern Saskatchewan, close to where the Beaver and Canoe rivers drain into the Churchill River system. Although Indian families had lived in the area for a long time, a settlement was not established until 1776, when Thomas Frobisher and Louis Primo found their way up the Churchill and set up their winter camp on the southeast shore of the lake. A Northwest Company trading post was soon established near the confluence of water routes from the south and east, and at the start of the main water highway over Métis Portage to the far north. As more fur traders found their way to Ile-a-la-crosse, a Hudson's Bay Company post was established. This was in 1799, when the original Frobisher post was staffed by Jean-Baptiste Riel, grandfather of Louis Riel. This was the beginning of an era of violent competition between the Bay and the Northwest Company, which only ended in 1821, when the Bay took over the operations of the Nor'westers. The fur trade era also saw much intermarriage between the French traders and the local Indian population, resulting in the birth of the Métis Nation. In the 1880s, with the decline of the Churchill as a fur trade route, the Roman Catholic mission became the focus of the community. First established on the peninsula in 1846 by Fathers Laflèche and Taché from Red River, the mission was soon a big enough center to be dubbed Cradle of Bishops. In 1860, the priests were joined in Ile-a-la-crosse by the Grey Nuns, who provided a visiting nurse service and set up the first residential school for about 15 children. One of these was Sarah Riel, sister of Louis, who changed her name to Sister Marguerite Marie following a severe illness, and remained here until her death in 1883. Her grave may be seen in the mission cemetery. The Ile-a-la-crosse Peninsula was frequently flooded during periods of high water around the turn of the century, and fires also took their toll on several occasions. Each time, the afflicted mission and hospital were rebuilt in the same location. The Grey Nuns, discouraged by these setbacks, left the north for several years, but by 1917 they were back to teach in the school established in 1913 by Father Lapointe. The first government involvement in the community also came in 1917 when Father Rossignol secured a book subsidy for the school. The mission kept its own animals for food until housing took over the available land. The church influenced much of the life of the community. Some residents remember life as it was during the early days of this century, when the mission was at its height of power.
In the olden days that transportation for all the goods and everything was all done by water. People had to go down the Churchill River, right to Churchill, and bring in the goods up the river, and they go down in the spring and then back up in the fall here to haul freight for the Hudson Bay. Then they used to go by canoe in the earlier days. They used to go by canoe down up the Beaver and then the Cowan River, the big river, and they used to build barges up there and then barge all their freight back down here, and that's the way most of the freight was hauled. And in the winter they used to use horses all the freight was being hauled by horses. The freight come in the winter, and then the fish would go out and they haul that fish back. Had quite a bit of problems because they had some places they had to go through bush, and then most of the road was through lakes and rivers that they had to follow, and sometimes the teams and places they used to go through, break through the ice, and they'd lose teams and freight and everything else.
Tämäksenään, mutta saattaa loghouse iki skihkiä hitakoaki. Iki kaue tepepohja vaan hatte mokah pohtsemi tegi missoja. Te mokpoko ja patsahanana. Askonge mustuhtaanaan toti kai tuhtia. Gipmskanaan uussengiaanaan. Minne se miassa kuussa. Niin koeski kosus konge mustsepmskanaan poko.
Kiikittämään kans tanakspin kagigiwatsiaan bapa 1920 kagipont matset tipagopitahto poniaan. Matsakan mama puunigi pam anma matsihikuja. Mama iki pampak tahuat juhpa hikkiit piekon naapiu. Kamin nahuhi pamna kotsut nienaan kitse. Skohtau naapim ja hiki niuja. Anno siiko ujuuten. Piekon ukki maawakisip matsuakai sinuak. Kwa nienaan yksi pikaki piuhpiki ja hahpumaki kuin family allowance. Nämä kuin socialet. Ja kun siis se puhussa kaupmaatsi suinnosta se puhukakip maatsi kuin jahan mama. As kauahpulla faren maki kuin just se javanaan. Keno siwi kaujaassa siellä on mamistegi kuin giaa.
Anu syömi kotsiko tone te kaya wanne ko mochi na aska kiogi ko etem chat na no na to ki te ko min pe kiogi ko te at ispajota. Ego ka kiogi ko tihta ko ne ko mina chapa aska miskana ego liikkaa kiogi ko liapu boch mo yak mina ko miskau peiche ko pogo oma mina miskana homo te mo yak mina mustohti ko ta pamna ja chigiti ja usko chapa aska kihta ko ja sta siis chigiti ego mitone usko mistä hei sinu ogi ko te moni opma chuho gi työgane ego na mana gaitte atauga mo oksan pogochi mit sonano ogana sego ei siinä ei ole toski onkaan, että kun istuukin mauka pamihiuta juhtip maatsohot. Ja kamsteet siinä on toski tsekin, että tauvi joki voi. Muitais kuka jaska juhtip maatsohot tsek muussa kahki joki voi. Jääpetsä toi aina saas koma mia ogi, että mä nahot tsek. Moi voi kohmista hei voi huomam sijoak. Sampo kun taukami juhtip mitsot tsekin loppuun.
Ile-a-la-crosse boasts fine health facilities. The present Mission Hospital building was erected in the late 1950s using local labor and solid Beauval brick. It now serves the whole region with 3 resident doctors. The medical and children's dental clinics in the building have been operated since 1974 by the Department of Northern Saskatchewan. With a 35-bed capacity and fully equipped dispensary and operating room, the hospital can handle the many births from the region, as well as general medical problems and minor and emergency surgery. A resident dental nurse treats local children, and a dentist visits weekly. A private ambulance service was established to complement the medical services available in Ile-a-la-crosse. Shopping facilities are available at the Co-op, originally community-owned as the Fort Black Co-op, and now incorporated into Northern Co-op Trading Services. The Bay is still here, now housed in a new modern building on the main street. A fine hockey arena, home of the Northwest Intermediate Hockey League, a curling rink, recreation center, and dance and theater halls provide for a wide range of recreational and athletic activities, both winter and summer. The Co-op Fisheries Processing Plant on Mackay Point, overlooking the town, provides a market for the many commercial fishermen on Lac Ile-a-la-crosse and other lakes on the Churchill system. This boat can haul about 300 boxes of fish per trip. Most northern fish, except trout, are caught in the surrounding lakes. A conservation officer with the DNS Resources Branch has responsibility for game management and fire control in the area. In 1976, the Saskatchewan Fire Crew Trophy for the best team went to the crew from Ile-a-la-crosse. The RCMP detachment houses 5 officers who are responsible for a wide territory in northern Saskatchewan. The Old Folks Home, originally built by the Métis Society, is now operated by the town. A 7-member local community authority handles the municipal affairs of Ile-a-la-crosse from this office. Education has always been important in Ile-a-la-crosse. In 1976, a new $3.5 million 23-room school was completed, giving the community one of the best facilities in the province. Educational policymaking was taken over by a local autonomous school board in 1974, and this board, along with the community at large, had a lot to do with the planning of the new school, as Indian architect Douglas Cardinal attested.
People of Ile-a-la-crosse have shown a positive example to all northern and native communities of Canada of having the determination, perseverance, and patience to work together to a common purpose to achieve the goals and aspirations of their community, and thus take an active and participatory part in the shaping the future of their community. They participated in the direction, the priorities, the planning, the design, and the construction of these facilities that will serve them and their children. They determined their own needs, their own goals, their own aspirations, and through their efforts, they made this democracy work. No one spoke for them. They spoke for themselves, and they spoke with a strong and determined voice in a matter which could be heard and could be understood. A positive voice that commanded a positive response. The people of Ile-a-la-crosse have proven to the rest of Canada that a positive approach can break down communication barriers, eliminate misunderstanding and misinformation, and create a better understanding between Native peoples and the rest of society.
With the new facilities, students can now attain grade 12 right in their home community. The school, which incorporates renovated sections of the previous school building, includes a daycare center for total community involvement. Some activity areas, such as the art and craft rooms, are intended for use by the whole community. The open plan is providing a stimulating, if somewhat noisy, atmosphere and allows total interaction between students and teachers. The gymnasium in the school contributes much to athletic activities in the area. Economic development in Ile-a-la-crosse has received particular stimulus in the last 5 years as a result of government incentives through various Department of Northern Saskatchewan programs. Ile-a-la-crosse Industries, formed in 1973 to promote a handicraft industry for women, has since expanded to include a men's division, which handles carpentry and millwork projects. The ladies produce various leather and beadwork items, which are now marketed nationally. The men's section of Ile-a-la-crosse Industries has been involved in building cupboards and cabinets for the new Rossignol School and for the fourplex teacherage now under construction, thus providing employment for about 50 local men. The Industries has a contract for more cabinets for the new L'Orange School. They also build locally required items such as boats, skiffs, and snowshoes for sale in the area. The Industries Co-op organized a 60-man labor pool on the west side, which undertook such projects as a 328-acre land clearing project for a dam near Uranium City. These snowshoes were made by members of the co-op. Many local men are employed on housing construction in the community. A number of houses are currently being built, as well as a fourplex for use as a teacherage. The subdivision, known locally as Snob Hill, was first settled in the 1930s and has been the site of most recent housing development. As well, new construction is taking place on the old airstrip, where the land is relatively high and solid. Materials for housing construction are supplied by the D&S sawmills in the north, which also sell lumber to private individuals. A government-operated farm also provides employment for local residents on both a seasonal and year-round basis. 1,500 acres of land have been cleared and are now into the productive stage. There is a herd of 150 beef cows with the possibility of expansion to 200. The possibility of establishing a poultry operation to provide eggs for local demand is also being considered. Contact with the rest of the province has been steadily increasing. Ile-a-la-crosse is connected to the main north-south highway by a 14-mile spur road, and there is 3-day-a-week bus service to the south. A new 3,200-foot gravel airstrip was completed in 1975 to accommodate aircraft up to DC-3 size, while traditional water-based aircraft still play a major role in inter-community travel. A direct dial telephone system was introduced in the fall of 1973 following the installation of SaskTel microwave facilities. The same facilities serve to provide the town with rebroadcast Saskatoon television and Regina radio. In 1976, Ile-a-la-crosse acknowledged its 200th birthday with a special 3-day celebration in July. Besides canoe races, a ball tournament, fiddling and jigging contests, dances, and many other activities, residents took part in this grand parade.
How we doing, Bob?
Pretty good.
Right on. How's the Carolina ball team? All ready to give her tomorrow? How's Mr. Buffett from Morale?
An 18-mile long-distance run with $1,000 in prize money attracted many competitors.